What's up? My name's Jake Williams, that's Adam Jenner, this is Lagoya, and this is the official 402 Films podcast. And I know we've had podcasts on this channel before, and I know we've had different talk shows before, but he's adjusting the camera. But it's something different. We're just strictly talking movies, we're strictly talking about anything about movies. It's free form, it's crazy.
We got some red Moscato.
And before we go any further, does anybody else think I look like Billy Mays in that Hawaiian shirt?
Really do?
That's not all.
Billy Mays! That's not all!
You really do, yeah. You're like Billy Mays summer vacation. Billy Mays school's out.
Who's that?
Billy Mays, here we go.
No class, no rules! Anyway. Actually, it's not Luke Moyer, it's really Sanchez. He wanted to do this podcast in character. And that's also why I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt and you've got a pineapple shirt. We filming another episode of Beach Cops on 402 Films. So anyway,
Billy Mays, Orange County. We'll keep going all day for these.
Adam, you're upset. Joss Whedon recently quit Twitter.
I don't care about that.
Well, that'll play into it.
Okay, fine. We'll start off
Have a
that.
nice wine.
We'll start in the segue, Joss Whedon.
Will you put the gun down?
Okay.
Okay, so why are you upset with Joss Whedon?
Okay, so here's my thing
You
with
hated him
Joss.
before it was cool.
Yeah, actually, I really hate him until after.
How's that reason?
A1.
Until after Avengers 2. Like, I watched it the second time and I realized how upset I was beginning to get at Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon. Not because, like, he's not gonna do anymore.
Sweden?
Whedon. Not because he's not gonna do anymore, because honestly, I think it's good that he's not doing anymore.
Thank you.
Joss Whedon is the equivalent of a spoiled brat who gets all the toys together, and then gets mad when anyone else starts to play with them.
He was mad that the Russos were taking over?
No,
So
no.
he was Jake when we were 5.
He was mad.
I beat you up one time for a Riddler sleeping bag, and you...
Well, it was his Riddler sleeping bag.
That's not the point. I saw something, I took it. That's Americanism.
No, okay, so he got upset when they brought Coulson back, which is funny because he co-wrote the pilot, but he got upset when they brought Coulson back. Then he comes out
You
and
didn't write that part?
then he comes out in an interview and says that he doesn't consider television canon. So he doesn't consider Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Daredevil canon. And it's like, it's not... And then, like, he got pissed off at Marvel when
I don't care. Daredevil was badass.
Oh, it's great. Great show.
Great show.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Which I'm surprised we haven't done a podcast about that yet.
We should do that. Jenny actually just finished it, so we can talk
Spoiler
spoilers
all we
day.
want. Anyway, so...
Yeah, okay, so anyway, yeah.
Cameo from Adam's Way.
He's come out, said they're not canon. And he's getting mad at Marvel. Marvel's getting mad at him, and filming Avengers 2 because they had to fight for, like, what they wanted in and what they... And Joss said, I have to have my dream sequences. He wants the dream sequences.
Which helped the movie.
Oh, yeah.
You could have taken those out easily, man. Like,
I mean, it did.
Granted-
But it added
granted-
a little extra.
Spoilers, by the way. It's been out for 2 weeks. You should have seen it by now.
yeah, otherwise...
You're living on a wrap.
Shouldn't be watching
But here's the
this
thing, like, they could have done without him, but I like the movie more because they were in there. Granted, Thor's was just a freaking commercial for Thor
Well,
Ragnarok.
see, and that's the thing. Yeah, that's my next segue. That's exactly...
See, that's what I just give you. That's why we do this.
And then, like, Whedon did not want the underwater spring scene with Thor, like the...
That was actually longer, too.
Yeah. He didn't want that at all. Marvel's like, you have to have that, and you have to have Selvig in there. And we need that. Because they're trying to build, because that's what Marvel does, they build universes. But even if you...
But this is one of my critiques of the movie. I feel like that's the problem with Marvel. I think that's why it was such a clusterfuck in parts of that movie, because they're like, oh, we gotta set this, that, and the other movie when we can't focus on the one movie that has way too many plot points in it as it is.
Well, it'd be a different...
Oh, it's scary.
It'd be a different story if it was like, you know... Thor 2 or something, you know, where you don't need to put those Easter eggs. We got Avengers 2. This is Avengers. You're building a universe. That's the whole reason Avengers 1... Am I right, Luke?
It's not wrong.
That's the whole reason Avengers 1 was
But
building a universe.
you didn't have those moments in the first Avengers where it's like, oh, it's clearly set
Because
up
Joss
this.
Whedon wouldn't let you have them.
That's good. That was good. That's what made it a better movie.
I don't agree. Okay, you know what
The
made
first
it?
Avengers is the better movie.
Yes, absolutely. But you know what pissed me off? Is he recycled scenes.
It's true.
Yeah, that's what happens in sequels. They're obviously, it's the Avengers. It's no surprise in the third act they're going to fight an army of things and they're going to kick ass. That's no spoiler.
And you're gonna have Hulk, who's a member of your team, go crazy in both movies, and just. And
that's his thing. Rage is his thing.
No, he just went She like sparked him up. And like, yeah, I get that it's his thing, but that's the only reason you have the Hulk in the entire movie. He doesn't do anything else.
Oh, you're upset that they gave him character?
No, I'm good with having more Bruce Banner scenes. I like that, but I mean, if you're gonna do that, don't
Mark Ruffalo.
Don't bring the Hulk in.
Great job.
Don't bring the Hulk in just for your
I'm glad you're here.
for your mandatory Hulk smash scene. Like, just delete that whole scene.
Well, then, without
Okay,
the Hulk
no.
smash,
If you
there's a
take
Hulk
okay,
smash.
I understand when you're getting an argument, and at first I agree with you, but then I was like, I don't know about that. With the whole.
I watched a porno called
The
Hulk
whole-
Smash where Hulk just goes in and plows chicks.
Thanks for derailing the podcast.
Pretty cool.
But
I bet you like that one because they didn't segue into crossovers.
they didn't.
Oh,
It was a very
it was
tight-
weird because Hawkeye was there for some odd
You
reason.
laugh. You laugh. But they like superhero porn. Like they got a whole cinematic universe, dude. They're connecting shit too. Kidding. It's a joke. Probably not. It's probably a big deal. So anyway, go back to the dream sequence.
Okay.
Before we do that, let me tell you something.
Why don't you go back and then? Okay,
It's like,
by the
oh,
way,
that's my train of
by the way,
thought.
this is
I got
gonna
a
be
thing
dream
of
sequence.
boobs.
This is gonna be dream sequence.
It's a reference to our other one.
it's gonna end with us off.
Okay, so anyway, dream sequences. He wanted those. He claimed that he wanted those. Marvel's like, oh, we don't need him. He's like, ah, you bitch, and got him in the movie. What else did he do that was?
Well, it added flavor. Cool.
I mean, what else other than the dream sequence did he have to fight Marvel for? And they fought. Sorry about that. We had technical difficulties. I forgot to delete stuff off the camera.
Damn it.
I made a sex tape.
I thought.
What? You thought what?
When a quarterback watches game film, prepare for next week's game. You gotta prepare for next week's pork.
Where's my one? Anyway.
You have some.
So anyway, he fought him for the dream sequence.
Right. Okay, so he fought for the dream sequence, and then he pretty much was able to do anything he wanted. And yet, what pisses me off about it is he did not even. We understand that you are very much against. You hate the whole if they're trying to build up stuff and keep building. Okay, but he didn't even throw in little Easter eggs. Like that's what I loved about Captain America 2 is you got like the Man from Cairo, Stephen Strange, and yes, Stephen Strange is kind of building something up, but it's just a name. You got the Avengers Tower, like showing up in one. The Man from Cairo is Moon Knight, in case you're wondering.
Oh, they had the Wakanda reference.
Moon
That's
Knight
it.
is my favorite.
Had the Wakanda reference. They set up the new Avengers. Blatantly, but they set it up.
How they set that up?
News Avengers
Captain
facility,
America
and
trains
then
the new
he's
guys.
training all the new guys.
Oh, yeah.
All the sidekicks.
Yeah, they do it.
Sidekicks.
Yes.
That's not
Take your sass somewhere else.
That's not building up anything. That's just him thinking his movie would be cool if he did that.
Why are you so upset?
I don't
You
like him
sucked this
anymore.
I mean,
guy's dick
I
in
could
the
totally
first
see both sides of this argument.
Because again, like,
place. Would you think you could do better?
yes.
Yeah, I know. You have no training. This shit, this stuff, this is nothing.
Bullet sequence.
Anybody in their grandmother's basement could do what we do.
I don't know. The whole joke with Hawkeye and Quicksilver, all that like shit that they went through. I like that shit.
I was a little upset with Quicksilver.
I like the enhance since they can say mutants.
Yeah, I did like that. It's funny because they're not Inhumans. Like, they're introducing Inhumans as mutants, but they're not Inhumans. They're just enhanced. Yeah. But, I felt cheated with Quicksilver. Because he was...
Hey, he stayed dead. Okay. Just remember, I agree with what Whedon said about bringing Coulson back. And this is why it's bullshit. Because nobody stays dead in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they're too afraid of it. Because, oh no, the
Yeah, high
contract.
ratings.
Clark Kregg dies in Avengers, and his death, the big emotional anchor to get the Avengers, to give them that push to come together and fight the bad guys, it gets fucking negated in a piece of shit TV show.
That's exactly what Whedon said.
See, what's
funny is because he wrote that show.
I don't consider.
And then the Nick
Agents
Fury thing,
as an actual
you
thing.
knew that Nick Fury wasn't gonna be dead, not because just the plot, just because it's Nick Fury and it's a Marvel
Sam
movie,
Jackson.
so they'll bring him back.
Also, he has a 9-movie contract.
And
that was
Bucky,
like movie 6.
Bucky didn't die.
Well, of course, Bucky wasn't
part of the
gonna
story.
die.
I
That's part of the
understand.
story.
That's the joke. But that was a joke. That's what I'm saying.
Was it?
That's where I can understand what he said about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You didn't need to do that. You didn't even need to, I don't even think the show needs to exist in the first place.
I like it.
Because you know what it's doing? Milking that cash cow. Milking that cash cow. Which is another thing that they did in the Avengers 2, which was like, we gotta milk the shit out of this thing, because, eventually people are gonna get tired of it, and before that we gotta make our nut. Because, I hate you, and I hate what you're
They're
doing.
not milking the cash cow because they have the only cow on the farm. Nobody else has anything close to this. DC has a calf right now.
continues to make stupid decisions.
Like
Like putting
just learning to walk.
Now, here's what I'm saying. I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the Captain America 2.
Sorry for anybody that works on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm sure it's a great show.
I love it.
I just get really passionate.
Call me, I'll guest star.
So
That's the guy that hated us. Let's kill him in the first scene. Don't do that to me.
Well, it's a cinematic universe, so I'll stay dead.
Yeah, I'll come back.
You get a cameo next season.
But anyway, okay.
I don't agree with the Daredevil. I don't agree with that.
I love Daredevil, and I love that they, it exists in the universe, and they kind of like
So-
mention it.
But I don't agree with that. But I do agree that he has a leg to stand on with Coulson. Granted, he did write half of it, but who says he wrote the other half?
I don't agree, because here's why I think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. can prove to be
And they
something.
didn't even explain it, Adam. They just said, there's certain levels of S.H.I.E.L.D. that you don't know about.
No, they explain it.
No, they didn't.
Watch the show. They explain how he came back to life. They did a whole
They did.
multi-episode arc.
I guess what? I don't give a shit.
Right, Jenny?
They sure did.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get me to watch that show.
I don't know,
Because
I'm
I don't
just
care about
saying-
that show because it's too cheesy for
I'm
me.
not trying to get...
Yes, you've tried multiple times.
What's the one?
I
Is it
stand
Agent
with-
Carter? The other one?
Yeah.
Oh,
With Chad Michael Murray?
Watch that boring movie.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to watch it just because...
Oh, the only
Do you
reason
really
why
give a shit about Captain America's girlfriend from World
the
War
only
II?
reason
care about
why
Howard
it
Stark
exists
and the original
why it
Jarvis.
exists is because we got to appeal to the
Is he actually a
feminist,
butler?
to the
Yeah.
feminism of having a main
It's also
character
a
be
secret
a woman.
agent, so they got...
So anyway, moving on.
It's got you got.
We got sidetracked.
Right. Okay, so back to... What are we on? We're pissed about.
But we were talking about Joss and the
Getting pissed off at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're just gonna do whatever we
no,
wanted.
no.
There was no Easter eggs.
No, real quick, back to that. I
We're
want
off track.
I want to go back to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and validify it for 1 second.
Solidify it? That's a fun word.
It's,
It's a real word. I believe it.
it's like onomatopoeia.
We're not playing Scrabble, so I'm not gonna dock you points.
Okay. But anyway, the episode, the last arc of the final season was Captain America 2. Great tie-in. They built.
And if you didn't watch, it was a great tie-in, but
Yes.
they jumped the gun on the episode.
I don't know, it worked. But here's
Yeah, but if you didn't see it,
Here's
you're
a
kind of
pres-
like, what?
this
what is this?
season 2 is pretty good. It's pretty good, and then they're building the Inhumans and they're building all of that, which I'm excited for because it's giving us a way. This is why the show is actually important. It's giving us a way to introduce new characters without giving them fucking origin stories. I'm so sick of origin stories. So now that we're introducing
It's Spider-Man 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3.
vice versa, but
Two franchises for us to realize, hey, he got bit by a radioactive spider.
No way.
But now that they're introducing the Inhumans, when they finally do the Inhumans movie, we don't have to get to know how they exist. We can just know the characters.
I'm an Inhuman.
Anyway, go on.
So basically, that's what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong. They tried to do a tie-in with Avengers 2, and it felt the first part they just the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. found out where the twins were, and the tie-in was they told the Avengers. Coulson told the Avengers where to go.
So I mean, it's like blatantly like where the basis of all this shit, but you don't have to watch the show to understand what's going on in the movies.
Exactly. You don't need the show at all, but I like. But then on the same page, the show knows that
Waste of breath.
the show knows that they would not be anything without the cinematic universe. So,
Okay.
by the way, my whole point of that is, with season 3 coming, I think we could have a pretty good build-up, and the show could validify itself by using by taking away origin stories from.
I mean, that would be nice.
Because that's what Captain America 3 is doing for Black Panther.
They're just popping him in there.
But yeah, Black Panther's going to be in Cap 3 and he's not.
Well, that's kind of what they do with Falcon too.
Which was an interesting thing.
Well, he's not gonna get
which was
his
the
own
thing that they
movies.
talked about on the Screen Junkies channel on YouTube.
Not ready for a black
And,
star.
they're talking in their show called Movie Fights. They're like, how would you introduce Spider-Man? And one of the guys, I love this idea. They're like, just fucking throw him in the melee. Just throw him in there.
He just
Because
shows
you
up.
know who he is, you know where they put. I
He
also,
just shows up in
but
Avengers
then
3.
somebody else said, do it as an intern. Like he works with Tony and he's like talking to him, and then because that's how it works in the books. But they're going so far off book, who knows what's going on?
Well, they have to.
They have to. But anyway, that's a whole other podcast for another day.
Yeah.
Then after all this, Avengers 2 releases. We all liked it, but we had our issues with it because it's you know it's Marvel, and when you're the best, people are gonna nitpick because because they're gonna put you up into this higher pedestal, things like that. So yeah, I nitpicked that movie. I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. I don't think it's better than the first one, but
I'm more excited for Cap 3 and Avengers 1 and 2, Part 1 and 2, because of Russo over Whedon. I like the Russo brothers' work over Joss Whedon's.
now
Yep.
if you go back and you watch Age of Ultron, are you still gonna be a pissy girl about it, or are you actually gonna enjoy the movie?
I'm gonna enjoy the movie.
Alright,
I'm gonna enjoy the movie no matter what.
I'm gonna be like, are you gonna be like Quentin Tarantino?
I like
think
do
he's
the
a conceited
cha-cha.
asshole. He is, but he still makes good movies. And there's a reason he's conceited. I'm sorry I called you a girl. I want to get a rise out of you. Nothing?
Sissy girl.
See, the old Adam would have lashed out. You're a different guy. You changed. But, anyway, so Avengers 2 comes out. It's surprisingly a little bit more mixed reactions than I would have thought. And the biggest,
I loved it.
thank you. The
Yes.
biggest criticisms were that it was sexist. Because
Is that like the Jeremy Renner
well,
called Black
because
Widow
they're like,
slut?
oh, not
It's so
maybe.
true. So true.
She kind of slutty.
But she
made out with
went
Cap.
from Hawkeye to Captain America
She didn't
to
really.
Hulk.
She
There's
didn't really
nothing, there
win.
was nothing there.
Well, I
They're
mean,
just really good friends.
there was the
platonic.
on-screen chemistry.
Well, there's
Yeah.
always on-screen chemistry.
Well, I
with
know,
Jake and
but
Pete,
like it was totally implied that
I
they
thought-
were porking.
I'll be lying if I'm not thinking about it right now.
Little
But-
stinky pinky.
Beach cocktail. So yeah, that happens, and then they're like, oh, Black Widow's the only female on the team. She has to have a love interest.
Not anymore.
The other one was like, oh, she's the only woman. She has to be the damsel in distress and get thrown into a cage there. To which our response is, that's a problem with the plot. That's not sexist.
It's not sexist.
And I don't
But
think
that's
they're-
just
I
the
don't
way
think
it's
every
Every
happened
single
for
one
years.
of them have love interests. They just don't have.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough money to bring all the love interests in.
Well, yeah, like they're gonna call up Natalie Portman and
They should
Gwyneth Paltrow.
because
yeah.
Natalie Portman is fucking hot.
She's Thor now in the comics. Jane Foster. That's
no,
the-
she's the.
Jane Foster.
Imagine if Natalie Portman turned into Thor in this
Oh.
universe.
She just
You
needs
want-
to
you
get
need a moment alone?
that fucking Viking style-esque.
Norse.
Well, I know, but it's
I know she's trying to put
You lost your
Viking
accent.
style. I know.
When he defends himself,
But the Norse
he talks
god
about-
style.
Talk like a man.
Shit.
So then he quits Twitter because he's negative things.
Oh wait, real quick, go back to Age of Ultron sexism. The one thing I do agree with on the sexism, and I usually don't agree with any of this, is the merchandising. There's
Oh, that there's no Black Widow. Actually.
Yeah,
yeah,
there is.
there's like very few compared to
The one
what
that
you-
I've seen is like super realistic and it's creepy.
That's not always a good thing.
I want a little Scarlet Johansson in my life.
Well, now we're just
What's the
creepy
link for
adults
your
talking about
YouTube?
women.
I just got a question. Hey, what's your YouTube for Rico Sanchez? Well, it's 402 Films, bro.
YouTube.com/424.
Feel free to call us in for any questions like that.
No, I'm not gonna. We don't have a landline.
We should get one.
This is spiraling out of control. Is there anything else you want to bitch about with Joss Whedon?
I'm just really happy he's done.
That's okay. You're the reason why he quit Twitter.
I don't have Twitter, so I'm not that reason.
But he quits Twitter because of all that, and it sucks.
No, I understand it completely. I mean, dude, come on. Like, again, like you said, you're in anything like that, people are gonna bitch at you and complain. And
Which is it's such a weird thing because like right now I'm fighting for this movie because I like Joss Whedon and you're just mad at him because he's a.
because he's not a team player.
That's the problem. Why does it have to be? Because you built the cinematic universe that you have to say, oh, you know what? Hey, good movie, Adam. I really liked where it went with that. But, you know, let's just make sure that we put in that scene for that one character to set their sequel up because we need you to do that because we can't fucking market it ourselves. Are you kidding me? It's Marvel.
Joss Whedon is the equivalent of the guy who's
Guardians of the Galaxy proved you put Marvel on anything and people will watch it. It was a great movie, but nobody gave
So
a shit.
if Marvel's name's on it,
10,000 points Williams family.
if Marvel's name's on it, why can't Marvel do what they want with it? It's their property, not Joss Whedon.
Okay, so you know what?
Well, let's go with
Ant-Man
Sony and Fox.
Hold on. If Ant-Man sucks, then it's Marvel's fault. Because Joss Whedon himself said that when he saw the script for Ant-Man, written by Edgar Wright, he said it was the greatest superhero script he's ever read, and it got torn to shreds because of Marvel.
If Ant-Man sucks because of Marvel, I will wear your mom's dress for one day.
Wear it. And I will film it. I will put that on this channel.
And if Ant-Man rocks,
So Joss Whedon isn't a bad guy.
and if Ant-Man rocks, which it will,
Then I'll eat my hat. I'll buy a hat to eat.
you have to wear my dad's hunting gear for one day.
I don't even know what that is. Bright orange stuff.
That's
Sorry, I was doing a little.
That's not even fair.
No,
That's not-
gentlemen's agreement.
That's not fair. Because what if I like it and you hate it? You can't. He has to be the judge then.
Yeah, he'll be there with
Okay,
me.
wait. I was
Okay.
lost.
If
Something about eating
Ant-Man sucks because of Marvel, I have to wear Jake's mom's dress for an
But
entire day.
if it rocks,
You have to eat a hat.
I have to wear his dad's hunting gear.
Where she doesn't know what it entails, so anything that's in my dad's hunting room, I can go. Gentlemen's
As long as
agreement.
there's not a gun. Like, because I'm afraid I'm going to get shot.
Gentlemen's agreement.
Well, I mean, you can't wear that
Luke?
around all day. 'Cause you
Luke?
don't have a concealed weapons license.
Little fire.
I convince the gentleman's agreement. Huzzah!
Huzzah! I like that. Every time we do it, we do that.
Yeah.
We gotta say huzzah.
Well,
Okay,
there's
let's
got to
try
be
it.
some kind of stakes.
Let's try it again. Yeah. Okay, let's try it. Okay.
I convince the gentleman's agreement. Huzzah!
Huzzah! That's good.
That actually went up better than
Yeah, we should do that more often.
So that might be a good question.
See, we gotten a couple things out of this podcast so far. We got the gentleman's agreement. We also got a potential counter for points for around the horn
We're just going to
style.
argue all the time.
Well, I mean,
Despite
that's
what
kind
people
of that's
think,
kind of what it
we
is.
are friends.
You guys do.
fight a lot.
You do. I mean,
We actually have really,
it's
really,
opinionated.
really
Go back and
strong
forth.
sexual attraction.
go back and forth
Wait, I'm
with
at
different
what's
viewpoints.
sexual frustration. That's what I'm looking for.
I mean,
Anyway,
I'm
Ant-Man,
flattered.
Paul Rudd. I mean,
That's another thing.
Should we end this and go into that? Do another one so we can cut them.
We could probably end it now and talk about Spider-Man.
Do you want to do Ant-Man this one and then
Well, I
jump
mean,
Spider-Man?
yes.
let's just do
let's just do
insects,
let's just do
arachnid,
the yes insects.
So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave in the comments, like, who you think was right? Do you think Joss Whedon's a whiny girl, or do you think Adam just is? Or am I crazy and I'm defending a guy that doesn't care about my opinion?
Or
That's you are
or
doing
option
that. That is very
C,
true.
Rico Sanchez is always right.
That's definitely true too. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at 402films. Follow us on Instagram at 402films and 402films on Facebook. Why is there a pig in my shirt? You guys think of a name for this podcast?
No,
As we
his
call-
name's Hamlet.
A break
Yeah.
for recess.
That's fine. We need a name for the podcast.
Break for recess.
Break for recess.
Break for recess.
Break now.
Intermission.
Intermission.
You'll see it on the top of the page.